There's a correlation between these and the whole Jade Helm operation. A lot of people think that, because of all these underground tunnels, that has it to do with, possibly transporting stuff. The fact that they're closed down and they're seeing cops and military presence outside of these, and it's further fueling the speculation that these Walmart closures have more and more to do with the Jade Helm operation. So stay tuned for more reports at INFOWARS.com. I'm Joe Biggs.
And that report is called FEMA Mart Super Tyranny Center, if you want to get it online and pass it out to all your friends. And I really think we've really covered the Walmart angle. We're looking at it. I'm looking at all the tips people are sending in. But at this point, I don't think there's any real cause for alarm.
Yeah, there's no clear answer to what's really going on at this point. But like you said, it's good to keep an eye on it.
Totally. Now, this last piece I want to cover out of USA Jobs. Federal Emergency Management Agency is looking for transportation managers. I sent this to you this morning. Two things I would like to point out. One of the key requirements is you must be a U.S. citizen, which I think is good, and obtain and maintain a government credit card. Well, and we've seen what the government does with these credit cards. It came out that they were making like billions of dollars worth of these really small purchases. So we know they have the ability to really waste money. But I like in their job summary, when disaster strikes, America looks to FEMA. Now FEMA looks to you. So what do you make of this transportation manager job opening?
Well, it kind of goes with the whole Walmart conspiracy type deal that, a lot of people saying that these places are going to be shut down and used to transport water. Then they're trying to get transportation people who would possibly be driving or handling logistics of vehicles moving across large distances. Like I said, there's a lot of weird jobs that keep popping up, and it's just one of those things we have to keep an eye on and try and track what happens as things progress.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember back in Hurricane Katrina, Walmart actually sent they were sending 2 or 3 truckloads of water to New Orleans, and FEMA turned them away. Can you believe that? They're like, here's some water. They're like, no, you didn't go through the proper processes. You got to go fill out applications A, B, and C. Can't take this water. Get it out of here. So that's what happens when disaster strikes. FEMA turns away free water. I mean, it was free water. It was like, here's the water. We want to help. We've taken most of your small businesses. Here's how we're going to pay back a little bit. We're going to give you a little bit here. And,
that's a place that needed water at that time. I mean, that's just, I mean,
well, they needed fresh water.
They're already going door to door to take people's guns. So now they're just going to keep water from getting to you.
Get people thirsty. Well, that's what we're going to cover in this segment. We're going to be back with a whole much more. And I'm going to cover one of the largest polluters in the world. Well, stay tuned. It's going to be at the end of the news, but wait till you see who we caught red-handed polluting our Earth. Rob Doing, this is InfoWars and Nightly News. My buddy Joe Biggs.
My name is Alex Jones. Most of you know me from my syndicated radio program and my documentary films, as well as InfoWars Nightly News. When I got on air 20 years ago, I had discovered the globalist program, their plan to take over the world, and my focus went from running 6 miles every other day, swimming 2-3 miles a couple times a week, and lifting weights to focusing on fighting the globalist. I've gone from 279 pounds all the way down to 235 pounds, and the weight's going off even faster. Super Male Vitality, Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine, and Oxy Powder. Those 3 products of the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products are the most important from my own personal experience. And it wasn't just that my weight loss accelerated. My muscle mass increased. My stamina, my energy levels exploded. Now is the time to take action. Start your journey today with the Alex Challenge Pack. It's the trifecta of change. Secure yours today and get free shipping for a limited time at InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory introductory offer. Visit ancientdefense.com or call 888-253-3139. ancientdefense.com.
Welcome back to the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm your host, Rob Dew. This next story, I want to illustrate how the mainstream media just doesn't get it. And it's a story involving terrorism, drones, Mossad spies, even a little bit of Osama bin Laden thrown in. But this is how the narrative works. The mainstream media likes to push its narrative that's based on what it gets from the State Department, which is based mostly on lies and propaganda and psyops. And then you have us, which we actually look at the information, what it is, and decipher it and show it to you. And I'm going to go back all the way back to 2006. We've been posting on this person that I'm going to talk about in this next article. This is from Kurt Nimmo. It came out today. U.S. American hostage killed in counter-terror op in January. And I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom of this article, because basically what happened is they released a statement talking about some people got killed. And also in the statement, according to the statement, Adam Gadon was killed in a separate operation. Gadon is also known as Azam the American, allegedly acted as a cultural interpreter, spokesman, and media advisor for al-Qaeda. In 2008, it was reported that Gadon was killed when the CIA military bombed a house where he was supposedly staying in Waziristan. It was later reported that he escaped unscathed. Now, Adam Gadon, who is this guy? Okay. This has got a lot of interesting, detailed information in it, but he's definitely not who he appears, as in with most of the things we get out of al-Qaeda and that ilk. I go first to an article from 2006. This is from Steve Watson. New al-Qaeda video, more CIA black op propaganda. And it talks about a new video come out, talking about a Californian named Adam Gadon. He's talking about, feeling the dark side. But here we go. Adam Gadon is in fact the grandson of the late Carl K. Perlman, a prominent Jewish urologist in Orange County. Carl Perlman was also a member of the board of directors of the Anti-Defamation League and was caught spying on the Americans for Israel in 1993. The information also appeared in the Jerusalem Post. So there we're looking at, this guy's got ADL contacts. His dad was caught spying, or his granddad was caught spying. And then Adam's got this whole history of being a death metal guy, and then he goes to a mosque and he converts, and then he moves out to the Middle East and starts making videos. So that's one part of information where he may be CIA. Here's another part. Another key indicator that Gadon is an employee of the Western Intelligence comes from a report of the Orange County Weekly, which details a man named Khalil Deek, a computer expert who attended the same mosque as Gadon and later became a top al-Qaeda deputy, was continually protected by U.S. authorities and allowed to go free on several occasions. They were both accused of organizing a terror cell in Anaheim in the mid to late 90s, and this was before all of this anti-Muslim hatred that we now kind of see fomenting on the left and right. It was before all that was happening. These guys were in on the ground level, which indicates some foreknowledge. Now let's go to 2007. Mossad agent Perlman, we've gone from him being just a regular guy, but Mossad agent Perlman releases phony al-Qaeda tape while Bush authorizes the CIA to bankroll and arm the real al-Qaeda in Iran. And if we scroll down, Israel's Mossad intelligence agency was caught back in 2002 creating phony al-Qaeda group to justify attacks on Palestinians. Perlman also has a knack for releasing tapes. Perlman is Gadon, remember, at the most politically opportune time for Bush, having first burst onto the scene shortly before 2004, the presidential election, and then right after Katrina when the president's approval rating was tanking fast. Even more mainstream publications like the Los Angeles City Beat have dismissed Perlman as nothing more than cartoonish propaganda. Also, he gets a lot of his videos are released out of a group called the Intel Center Group, a U.S. contractor that's headed by Vin Vazinski, and who's given the tape credence in media interviews. And remember that, we're going to get back to that later. So in this tape, all right, even Wired Magazine reported on this back in August of 2007, researchers' analysis of al-Qaeda images reveals surprises. And what it revealed was that, and I'm going to go to the images here, if you scroll down to the images, that the al-Qaeda bug and the writing there were put in the same layer, indicating that they were put in at the same time. The translation was done by this security group, but also the al-Qaeda bug was put in at the same time. And this comes from the research of a hacker named Neil Krawitz. And he also looked at a 2006 video, which had a bunch of guys sitting on a desk laughing, and he said, well, it looks like the Al-Qaeda bug and the other bugs were all put in at the same time, indicating these are all coming from the same place. Now, after this article came out, I guess Croats contacted Kim Zetter, who is the author of this article, and says, wait a minute. I never said that they were on two different, or they were on the same level. It could have just been, it was the same compression used. He was backtracking this. Although she goes back, she does 3 updates on this article. Here's the 3rd update. And she writes, however, in a taped interview I conducted with Neil, after his presentation, he said the logos were on the same error levels and that it was indicated they were added at the same time. And so he backtracked on this after the article came out, no doubt due to pressure from someone else. Because there you can see some more examples of the work of where the bugs and the translation are being put out at the same time. Also, in that picture there, some books were added in. And this was clearly done by different people, not these guys in the caves in Afghanistan. So they had to backtrack that. The researcher backtracked it after he was called out, who knows, by someone in the State Department, maybe one of his liberal friends who's making money on keeping this Al-Qaeda narrative alive. Now let's go to 2009. Notorious double agent Gaddan apologizes for Al-Qaeda murders. Notorious double agent Gaddan apologizes for Al-Qaeda murders. And this also came out at a politically opportune time. This was right after the Major Hassan shooting up at Fort Hood, where he killed a lot of people. He came out praising that, which really is going to amp the anti-Muslim, anti-Al-Qaeda rhetoric, keep that narrative alive. What's interesting in this article, it also talks about that the house that was bombed, where he escaped unscathed earlier, was owned by one Majid Khan, who worked for the CIA. So he was in the home of a CIA agent that was bombed, and he got out okay. And it also talks about in this article some other interesting people, Zacharias Moussaoui, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and Omar Abdul Rahman, who are also patsies in this whole Al-Qaeda scheme. We have to have boogeymen that we can go after. And we've gone on the new tapes from the other Al-Qaeda offshoot groups. But let's move on. Here we go. Back in 2010, Al-Qaeda video calling for attacks on U.S. arrives day after Pentagon shooting. And this is just another example of how he puts out tapes at these convenient times. It's like his handlers are saying, hey, it's time to put out another tape. And there he is releasing one. And now here's a final article from Paul Joseph Watson back in 2011, May 6. U.S. government contractor claims Al-Qaeda has confirmed bin Laden fairy tale. And this talks about the group SITE, who is also getting some interesting intel. They're the ones always releasing these tapes. They seem to get them first before anybody else sees them. On the same weekend, SITE released a tape of Adam Perlman praising Farouk Abdul-Muttalib and Fazil Saeed, the alleged Times Square bombers. Adam Perlman is blatantly a Mossad spy who's releasing fake Al-Qaeda videos to bolster the geopolitical agenda of both the United States and Israel. That's right. As long as those narratives are out there, that we have a boogeyman that we have to be watching out for, you're just going to see a continuing ramp up of this war on terror. And now that we're through with Al-Qaeda, we now have ISIS, who has taken the place of them, another group that we've created, we're continually arming. And this is how the narrative works. Gaddan was sort of like a peripheral player who just kind of appeared when we needed him to, very conveniently all the time, always with these videos coming out whenever a president's approval rating was low. And that's to boost it back up so he can come out and say, look, we still got to worry about these terrorists. I may be doing something bad here, but don't worry about that. Now, let's get back to the original article that this was all brought out about. U.S. American hostage killed in counterterror op in January. Now let's look at how, from this, we go to the CNN article. Adam Gaddan, American mouthpiece for Al-Qaeda, killed. So they put him in the headline of the article as he was just kind of a leaf note in ours. While he wasn't one of top Al-Qaeda's leaders, Gaddan was one of the most prominent members, given his many statements on behalf of the organization. He converted to Islam in 1995, left the United States for Pakistan 3 years later. His father said Gaddan last contacted the family in 2002. So they're living right up to the narrative. See how CNN explains it? They're like, look, this guy, we really had to worry about him. It's a good thing we took him out. Good thing we took him out. And he was just kind of released in this statement as an afterthought. If he was this big political propaganda guy that we had never exposed, it would have been news everywhere that we got Adam Gadon, we got an Al-Qaeda operative, we got one of the top media lieutenants. But no, it's kind of